Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to a new video. And today I want to introduce you to the world of Ublue-OS. There's quite a lot to say about this. It's quite extensive, and this video is aimed at newcomers. If you're not sure what it is, if it's interesting for you, and hopefully by the end of this video you figure it out for yourself. And yeah, like I said, a whole lot to talk about. Let's dive in. So in this video I will show you real short what it is and how it relates to Fedora, different versions of Ublue-OS, a demo of bootc, and how to create your own distribution. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around. Universal Blue 101. So the Universal Blue project builds a diverse set of continuously delivered operating system images using Fedora Atomic desktops. And you might know, if you're a subscriber to my channel, I already made a video about Atomic desktops and why they are so great. And basically this extends upon the same concept and take it a step further. So support for bootable OCI containers, and that's where bootc comes in. That's nerd speak for the ultimate Linux client. And I think that the client may be a little bit strange in terms of wording, because we're basically talking about a Linux desktop, right? The reliability of a Chromebook, but with the flexibility of power of a traditional desktop. So, well, you can read the rest for yourself. The source is the universalblue.org. I highly suggest you also have a look at there. This is setting the grounds of what we're talking about. Disclaimer, maybe for the software purists out there, Universal Blue distributions ship with non-free software repos enabled. And if that doesn't sit right with you, then you should just use the Fedora Atomic desktops instead, for example. So this does indeed enable RPM Fusion and also provide some NVIDIA drivers if you do select that. So just make sure that you are okay with that. So what are the main variants? And for this I need to take you along. So let's have a look at the website universalblue.org with the mighty mesmerizing background. About Us, I read a part of this already. And then the first thing you see is the Aurora desktop. And this is meant as a clean and reliable desktop operating system for every type of user, many batteries included. So it's really meant for indeed everyone, including developers, gamers, and batteries included is meant as a quick start that you don't have to worry about codecs and stuff, and it just works. You have a great experience. It has tweaks and stuff, so this is the go-to, I would say. And we'll get to later and how to obtain it, etc., and what variants there are. The next one, and this is Bazzite. This is meant for the gamers. So if you have a handheld, if you have a gaming laptop or a gaming PC, then this is the one you should get. And you can also select the desktop, depending on what your preference is. We'll get to that later. And then bluefin, and this is the GNOME experience, but also for general use, I would say. So it's a Linux workstation designed for reliability, performance, and sustainability. So it's meant for everybody, and also for developers. So this is also a solid choice if you're into the GNOME, the simplicity of the GNOME environment. And as well, so it's very, very overlapping with Aurora, I would say, in terms of packaging. And then you have the U-Core, but that's really out of scope of this video, but they have it here because it's one of the things they have listed on the websites. So it's kind of like coming at a restaurant. And you see the billboard here, and you see all the variants on offer. And you're at the restaurant Ublue, and they say, "Well, come in. What do you want?" And these are the four you see: Aurora, Bazzite, bluefin, U-Core. But there's a whole lot of variants, and that makes it a little bit confusing to begin with. Well, before I explain what variants are, let's first look at base images, because that's a key component of creating many of the variants. And you could look at the base image kind of like ingredients to make layers in a cake, because containers are layered. And Universal Blue maintains a set of base images built from Fedora Atomic desktops, I already said that, and then enhanced with additional hardware support and fixes. Note that these images are lightweight by design and do not ship with many of the enhancements of our other images, meaning they are unique to each other. I'll get to those changes, but I think quite a lot is overlapping, but for specific hardware, you have specific images. Universal Blue images are endlessly customizable and may be derived into new images through the use of a container file and our GitHub build actions. And we'll show you later in a demo. We look forward to seeing what you create from them. And here you have the list of the whole packages. But let's dive a little bit deeper. And yeah, there's a whole lot going on in this chart. And let me move my face out of the way. The Ublue cook has ingredients and you want to create some cakes. Well, let's first start by ucore and CoreOS. I want to put that out of scope of this video because I mainly want to focus on the desktops. And let's start from the beginning, the lowest layer, the ingredients. So the source base images. There are Silverblue, Kinoid, but there are more coming. And just look at the Atomic desktops. All these Atomic desktops are a candidate to do the same thing upon. And many of them are already in the works. But let's, for now, to keep it simple, let's stick just with Silverblue and Kinoid. And Universal Blue adds their own spices to it. They say batteries included, but let's call it spices to stick with the whole cake analogy. They add bluefin is one, bluefin-nvidia, bazzite GNOME, bazzite KDE. So here you have the GNOME stemming from GNOME and stemming from KDE, bazzite KDE, Kinoid, NVIDIA, Aurora, and many others more. Just adding the spices to basically the source base image, meaning you could use, if you have Kinoid, it's very basic, but if you have the Universal Blue variant, they do add some extras for you. For example, that's just one example, but you can also choose one with NVIDIA enabled. But there's many others are out there. Let's look at some hardware specific ones. For example, Asus or Surface or Ally or another Surface, but you can you have variants for hardware specific, and it leads to very nice images, names like Bazzite, GNOME, Surface, NVIDIA, Open. So it's quite extensive what you can use, and you can also have tags, but I'll get to that later, more detail. And for developer experience, sprinkled on top, and that's adding the DX. And that's for Bluefin and Aurora, but not for Bazzite, because that's not really developer experience. But maybe you can also, if you want, add that, but that doesn't make too much sense because you already have lots of variants to choose from. And as always, you can add your flat packs on top. And I hope this makes it clear for newcomers. There's quite lots of variants, but you have a layered approach and you have some variants and you have the developer experience on top. And that's basically what it is. You might be wondering, well, how to start? And there's 3 ways. A, download an ISO from one of the respected sites. Aurora, Bazzite, Bluefin, I just mentioned these 3. B, you could rebase an Atomic desktop. I'll show you that in a minute. Or C, build your own from a template. And for that you go to the Ublue-OS and use the image template. So let's first look at how to download these. And if you head over to universal-blue.org again, and as mentioned, these are the 3 you see. And let's start with Aurora. open a new website and get Aurora, that's the button. And just select your hardware, it's a very nice feature. Let's say Asus. And then you have the choice of your GPU, let's say AMD. And then you can choose if you want to have the developer experience, yes or no. Let's say no. And then you have the thing you want to download, Aurora Asus latest. And you can, of course, choose your own. Let's go to the second one. It's a Bazzite. Visit the website. The button is here, download Bazzite. And I saw that the pop-up is not capturing, so I'll have a screenshot of that. It's popping up now. It's just a list, and I will select from the list. I'll select the Steam Deck, and it populates it. Desktop environment, you can select KDE, GNOME, and Budgie and Cosmic are coming soon. Let's do KDE. And then you will have the download link here, and it shows Bazzite Deck Stable. And let's say you have GNOME, then it's Bazzite Deck GNOME. So that makes a whole lot of sense, I think. Move to the next one, Bluefin. Visit the website, same mechanism, but tryout is the button, and then you first choose a GPU. Let's say do Intel, and include developer tooling. This will be Bluefin DX. And if you NVIDIA, for example, Bluefin DX-nvidia makes a whole lot of sense, right? And that's similar to the packages in the website Ublue-OS. So github.com orgs Ublue-OS packages. And if all the variants you have here that you could choose from. Let's say Bazzite again. 30 packages. And you have all the variants as also shown. Right, you have everything is here, and the helpers on the website really steer you towards what you would want to get. Second option is rebasing, and that can be done from any Atomic desktop. Let me show a quick post here by Jorge, a very active member of the Universal Blue community. Also has an own channel, makes a lot of videos. Definitely check it out. Yeah, so rebasing here, RPM OS3 rebase and OS3 image signed, and then Docker, and then the container registry, and then the user Ublue-OS, and then the image you want to get. And of course, this you can choose yourself, but this is how Silverblue rebases, and you can do it like that. And option C is build your own from a template, and then you go, you just visit GitHub, and they have an explanation, but in a minute I'll show you that whole process. But first, let me introduce the star of the show, bootc. And that truly deserves its own video. I think it's very interesting, very cool. And basically I was looking for something like this, and then here it is. And yeah, real short. bootc, what does it do differently? Here you have the regular container. It's a regular container with the base image and an apps. bootc adds a Linux kernel. And now you might be thinking, well, basically a VM. Yeah, it's quite similar to a VM. It also has the kernel in there, meaning it can boot. Bootable container, that's it. So this very short, so like I said, deserves its own video. If you want to have a look of this website, so have a look at this article by Valentin Rothberg. And it's very good, the images from there. So this one from Fedora, and this one as well, a quick demo. So this really helped me make it click for me. So how can you build your own, and how can you use it? And this uses Podman machine to boot into it. But that's way more detail than you need for now. So just have a look if you're interested in bootc. This could be a good starting point. And let's jump in the demo. These are a couple of screens I had prepared before. Sudo bootc switch, and then the container registry name Ublue-OS. I've showed you that before, where the packages are. And then the bazzite, gnome-nvidia latest. And that's the way I switch to that. And then you will see the layers already present, 0 in this case. Would be definitely cool if in the future, if you want to switch around a little bit more, there's some kind of cache mechanism would be cool. Because if you switch around a lot, then you see, not many layers that are already there, but I think they have a lot of overlap. But that's a quick side step. You see here fetching layers. We'll go some fetching the OS3 chunks. And then after it's done, deploying, and you see queued for next boot. You see the one I was switching to. And when you reboot the computer, it's a little bit hazy screenshot, but you see the new one here. If you do nothing, it will select the top one. And in this case, I did my arrow down for creating a screenshot. And the other one I was rebasing from was Aurora-41. And that's second choice. So if anything goes wrong, just know that you can easily recover. And if all goes well, you see the new desktop there. And here we have a clean aurora-dx installation. And you need to have sudo bootc status. So let's see what we have booted. Current booted, you see here aurora-dx-nvidia stable. And the rollback image is a different one. But it's quite similar, to be honest. So basically it's the same. Yeah, exactly the same. Same hash and all. But what you can do, sudo bootc switch. And then you select your container registry. For me, I will do GitHub, Ublue-OS. Then the image that you want. Let's say we want to go to kinoid-nvidia. Okay, let's first look up the name again. And for that, you can go to that website with all the packages. So this one. And just kinoid-nvidia for me. That's this one. And you can have a specific version or just use the latest one. I will do the latest one. So and the tag. Where you can use the tag, you could also do, let's say, 40 or something, depending on what you want. Latest for me. Okay, then enter your password. Already have that. And you see layers already present 1 and 67 need to be downloaded. So now it's running, and once it's downloaded, it will deploy it, and then you will have the menu. You just have to reboot, and then you will switch to this Kinoid environment. And while that is running, let's head on over to... there's one thing I wanted to show you still, and that is how to bake your own. And for that you go to this repository, and this is Ublue-OS image template. Let's head over there. And that's this one. And very convenient for you to make your own. Yeah, very little prerequisites. Basically you need to have some kind of container engine. And yeah, basically you can just start with it. And if you want to rebase to it, then you of course need to have some kind of Silverblue variant, or maybe even bazzite or aurora or whatever, bluefin, doesn't matter. And how do you do it? Here's a very clear instruction. And you can just follow it. But to start, here's the button. So I was, I think I forked it or something. That is not correct, or I cloned it. But you need to use this template, and let me show you. You will end up with something in your own repositories. This is a random name. So this is mine. And I created, this is basically the same repository. What's important, this is your own pub key that you need to place here, or else it cannot be signed in your container registry. Basically here, the container file, you can select that Kinoid, NVIDIA, latest, etc. And build.sh. Very easy, just screen, and the rest is, but you can add your own applications, of course, and you can do a lot of customization. And very cool. And that they provide it. It's very cool way. And what you end up with, the result, it has GitHub Actions. So here, each update you do to your own repository will run this and then create a new image. So create on your own container registry, build and push image. Here you can see it. And registry push image here. Here you can see it. And I can just rebase to this one and use it on my own machine. Here you have the complete address, right? So my username, and that could be your username, of course. And this is the tag. Yeah, so then you can create your own. It's very cool, right? Now, indeed, so queued for next boot is this, and you can do systemctl reboot. Oh. Reboot. And here's your freshly new system. Yeah, that's basically it. That's what I wanted to show you in this video. So have fun playing around with it, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.